early morning. I've decided to get off my lazy butt and get going. Got a very light little easterly breeze going on here. It should get us going at maybe 4 knots, so I'm going to take advantage of that while I can rather than use the fuel. So goodbye to this beautiful little bay and the people here, and yeah, be sad to leave here. Very nice little spot. And sail the pick out this morning. There's no need for the engine today. Fairly straightforward process. So I'll go ahead and do that. Get underway. There may be a question there, how do I sail the pick out? Well, it varies from boat to boat. All the boats that I've had in the past were different. This one, the Beneteau, being a modern fin keel design with the sloop rig, you know, fore and aft sail, that's all she's got. She's very, very straightforward, very, very simple. And also because I have a chain link counter, which tells me exactly when the anchor is going to break out. So I know the depth of the water and I know when the anchor is holding us and when it's no longer holding us. So basically what I do on this boat is I set the mainsail first and just have her loose. Just so she's just going to sit there. Just like that. And I don't want it to draw. So there's a lot of slack there in the main sheet. And I've got 60 metres of chain out, and I'll be in about 20 metres of water when she breaks out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to haul up the anchor to just a couple of metres short of that 20 metres, and then when I think she's just about to break out, I'll go hard to starboard or hard to port on the helm, because she'll have a little bit of way going forward as I do that. And then once she breaks out off the bottom, she'll start to turn in the direction that I want, and the wind will catch the bow and continue that turn for me in the direction that I want to go. And then as she goes around, once the pick is come up on board, by then the sail will start to catch and we'll be sailing away downwind. So that's how I do it on this one. My catch was a little bit different, but this is a really straightforward boat to do it on. So there we are there. We had 60 metres of chain out. We're at 48 metres now. And she's just sitting on the anchor with the mainsail just flapping. She's not drawing, she's not doing anything. We'll wait till she gets up to about 20 metres. Although I'm currently sitting in 29 metres of water, when I dropped the pick I was in about 20, so we've fallen back into deeper water. That's okay. I know that as I go forward, I'll be getting closer and closer to that 20 metre depth. So you can see the depth starting to match now. We've got 25 metres of water and about 25 metres of chain. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bear off hard to starboard just before that anchor breaks out, and then I'm going to continue lifting. What'll happen, hopefully, is she's still got a little bit of way on, about 0.3 of a knot. And she's just starting to push her head across to starboard now. And that means the wind is going to catch that starboard and just continue that push for me. You just got to be a little bit patient and trust in the physics that's going to happen. So there we are. So we're now at 18 metres of chain still left to go. We're in 23 metres of water, so I know that we've broken clear off the bottom and the head of the boat is just starting to catch that wind and get pushed around. The mainsail's still not drawing yet. We don't want it to draw too much until we've got that chain, you know, pretty damn close to being on board. Ten metres of chain. I don't know if you can see that anchor chain up forward. We've nearly got her on deck. And because we've got almost all the chain, she's just starting to draw now, just starting to sail away. Two metres of chain to go. Very handy to having a chain link counter. There she comes. Anchor's on board. Mainsail's drawing. The head's falling away. And we're sailing away from this beautiful little bay. Easy peasy, especially on a modern boat like this one. In the right conditions too. There are conditions I wouldn't try and do it in. But that was very, very straightforward, a light breeze. Took advantage of it while we had it. Anyway, let's get sailing. I'm just ghosting along as we come out of the bay. Pretty soon I'll be able to set that headsail as well. And that'll increase our speed. I think we're doing about 2 knots, 2.5 at the moment. So we might get her up to 4 or 5 today if we're lucky. If we're lucky. And we'd like to get some internet today, maybe. Well, that would be good. Internet's really patchy around here. Of course, you would expect that. But one of the most frustrating things has been that we've pulled into some bays that have internet, but we have the wrong company. So you have, you know, villages and islands that have one brand, and the neighbouring island that has a different brand. And if you don't have both SIM cards, you wouldn't have internet at both locations. Bit annoying. We bought Telcom Cell, which we believed was the best coverage. I still believe it probably is. But the other one that we've bumped across here is, I think, called LK, and there's another one as well. So it's just frustrating that they don't use each other's towers to service. Anyway, that's the way it is. It's Indonesia. And being forced not to have internet is not a bad thing, I guess. It's teaching us to switch off a little bit anyway. Beautiful morning. Beautiful wife. Hello, my love. And sun's just peeking over the hill now. It's going to be a hot one. So it looks like another group of those large dolphiny slash creatures that I think are pilot whales. It's difficult to tell. They're not playing with us today, they're passing by. I'm hatching a secret plan in my head. So the original plan was to go to a place called Kalabahi on Alor Island, mostly because it's a guaranteed anchorage for us. Also we can get fuel there, which would be nice to top up, although we don't need it. Our tanks are currently full. My reserves, I carry an extra spare 100 litres, down to about 30 there, so it'd be nice to have, you know, an opportunity to refill, have 100% tanks, 100% reserves. And, you know, have a walk on shore, hang around a village or town, you know, go to a supermarket, maybe buy some vegetables, stuff like that. So that's the original plan, which means we've got to sail all day today and all day tonight, all night tonight, and then arrive sometime tomorrow morning. But depending on the speed we make, we may arrive there too early. We may arrive there tonight, which means again we'd have to sit off, you know, tacking backwards and forwards, waiting for daylight to be able to make the entrance in there, which we can't do in the dark due to all the unlit fishing vessels, unlit fishing platforms, nets. It's just like a spider's web in there. So we've got to either, if we do pass by during the night or in the early morning, we've either got to hang around and wait and then go in, which is about 12 miles, so a couple of hours, or we can sail on. If we do sail on and we sail on all day and we get a reasonable pace, the next spot would be Liba Bay, which apparently has a town there which is the capital of all that area. So we'd definitely have our fuel and have our supermarket and everything we need, really. And it would mean that we do another 150 miles from now. But at the moment, the current speed, it's looking like if we get a bit of a speed increase from the wind, we could well make that through today, through tonight, and then through most of tomorrow, and then anchor, and that'd get us 180 miles, something like that, in 36 hours, which would be a really good passage considering our ultimate goal is to get to Malaysia, Thailand. So it'd be really good to knock our way through here. Anyway, I'm sort of hatching that as a secret plan because I don't know how keen Tan will be. Conditions are really light today. We've got about maybe, well, less than 10 knots of wind. We're making 3.5 at the moment, which is not too bad. and just making our way to windward. We're making a fair bit of that wind right there, the 8.3 knots. We're probably making at least 2 of those just by moving forward. Anyway, so a very calm day, but we are making progress, so we're going to stick with it. Tarn's in charge on deck. She's working really hard. There we go. And meanwhile, come check out what I've been doing. So, really calm down here. So I decided to lash out and do the one thing that I do. I decided to lash out and do the one thing that I do really, really well on board, and that is to make some bread. So I made up some dough, and it's been sitting in a loaf tin just rising. It's ready now. I'm going to stick it in the oven. I just fired up the oven, so we'll pop it in now. And probably in about 35 minutes thereabouts we'll have an awesome loaf of bread. I've got some butter, I've got some cheese, I've even got some Vegemite. So we're going to have Vegemite, cheese, butter on freshly baked bread. That's for lunch. I'm excited. There's lunch just come out of the oven. Beautiful baked loaf of bread. Baby, my darling.
Thank you, husband.
No problem, baby. I threatened Tarn with cheese and Vegemite, which I'm having, plus peanut butter and jelly. And she counter-threatened with papaya salad, to make me papaya salad. And if anyone's been to Thailand and tried papaya salad, that's truly disgusting. Probably one of the most disgusting national foods I've ever known. Anyway, I guess cheese and Vegemite is probably right up there as well. Anyway, I'm going to go and eat now. See ya. What do you make, darling?
Noodle, Thai noodle.
Thai noodle. I like this.
It's a noodle, it's a egg.
Yeah.
And this one is now I taste first.
It's like a rice noodle with a pepper soup. It's got coriander, and those little balls are like a chicken meat ball, kind of like a sausage. Probably made of the worst part of the chicken, but it tastes good. And then she cracks an egg inside the soup, and that poaches inside the soup. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's really yummy to eat. Thank you, my darling. We like this, or I like this. She likes this too.
Smell good.
Thank you, my darling.
I put more this one, but in chocolate blue.
Oh, more vinegar. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really lucky. I get to eat a lot of not just Asian but Thai food on board. Yeah, lucky. So just thought I'd show you this while I'm here. You can see we've obviously headed into a crossroads of shipping lanes here. I got 2 heading down from the north, and 1 heading from the south, and 1 heading across from the east. You know, you can get a bit overwhelmed by this because those ships are big. The HL Frontier there to the north is 1,000 feet long. I haven't checked the other ones because I just can't be bothered. But basically, don't get overwhelmed by it. Just set up your AIS to show you what your closest point of approach is. And you can see the HL Frontier will be 6 miles away in 1 hour and 12 minutes. So it's telling me already that I don't have to stress about that guy, even though I would have to give way to my starboard side. And the guy just south of him, to my starboard side, he also is going to pass well clear of me as well. The guy to the south, who should be giving way to me, the United Eternity, he's going to pass nearly 6 miles astern of us as well. So there's no need to stress out about it, just keep an eye on them. And if you get in doubt, give them a call on the radio. You've got their name, you know who they are, they'll speak English at that size, and just discuss with them what they would like you to do. You know, they'll be able to track you far more accurately than you can track them. They'll have you on radar and they'll suggest, you know, if you change course, you know, 20 degrees to starboard, we'll alter course 5 degrees to port and we'll pass, you know, 2 cable lengths apart. They'll do that. So don't be afraid to contact them on the radio and have a bit of a chat. They're more than happy that when you do contact them, you're showing that you care. And I've never ever had, you know, a large container ship, even up to that 1,000 feet size, ignore me on the radio. They always talk to you, and they're always obliging and kind and very professional. So yeah, So my advice there is don't get overwhelmed when you get into these waters and there's, you know, large ships everywhere. Just you know, break it down to the simple stuff. Who do I have to give way to? Who's going to be passing the closest to me? Who's a threat? And if I need to, should I talk to them? And if I need to, then give them a call on the radio. Very simple. Anyway, there you go. So a little bit more on that. So this is where we're headed. We're still a long way off, still 50 odd miles off here. Then we're going to go around the corner in the morning and into this bay here. And that'll be our anchorage for the night. The wind quit on us and now it's coming dead ahead at about 5 knots. So it's not helping us at all. So it's motor for the rest of tonight, I imagine. At least the seas are calm. I think I'm about to lose all my line. I put a line out to see what was happening here because we're in nearly 5 kilometres of water. And it is smoking out line. I just wanted to see what was here. I think it might have been a mistake. I think I'm going to lose everything. I think I'm going to lose everything. That's seriously big. Whoa, it just smoked out line there. Holy moly. Oh, nearly finished. And he's still going. If he doesn't stop, we're just going to lose it all. My guess is that's a huge tuna. Because he has gone deep, 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 deep. I'm going to have to try and slow him down some more, but... That is a big fish. I think it might have been a mistake. I just wanted to see what would be out here in 4,500 metres of water. Because we're seeing a lot of flying fish, and I said to Stan, if there's small fish here, there's got to be big ones. But I wasn't expecting something that big. He's just continuing to take line. I've got that break up really hard now, trying to slow him down. I can see there's very little line left on that spool now. But my bet is, well, I honestly don't know. There he goes. He's just fighting. Whoa! Nearly lost the rod. Okay. Nearly lost the rod. So I can feel the weight on that line now. That is insane. There's a lot of fish down there. A lot of fish. We're not even going to see this guy. I'm just going to lose the lure and about 300 metres of 100-pound braid line, 150-pound leader. This thing's just smoking out. There's just no way we're going to get this guy on board. Not to mention I'm right in the middle of all those vessels I just showed you a minute ago, so I can't really stop right here. We're right in the middle of a crossroads. I can't stop to deal with this guy. I got that break up so hard now. I'm surprised if I don't smoke the reel. And he's still taking line. I wonder what it is. We'll never know. We will never know. But it's heavy. It feels like the weight of a person on the end of this line, at least. It's heavy. Or either like there's a really big bloke on the other end of this line just falling on it. The only thing I can hope is that maybe if we tow him long enough, you know, a bit like water skiing, he'll get tired and maybe we'll get a look at him. I've managed to stop him. There's almost nothing left on the spool. The brake is up as hard as I can crank it on. And I can feel that he's getting tired. At times he releases a little bit of pressure. And this is, look, I can actually get a tiny bit of line now. So there's a chance, an outside chance, that we may get to see this guy. But whatever he is, he's a monster. There's no way that this guy's coming on board the boat. But I really would love to see what it is.
Oh.
So my reel's starting to fall apart. I have got to say, you know, in all my 30 odd years of sailing, fishing off the back of the boat, I've never had a fish this big on the back of the boat. So we just got him on the surface now. He's probably 200 metres behind the boat. He's monstrous, eh?
Ooh!
He feels really big, but at least that means he's giving up. We might
Wow!
actually win this fight. Oh. You can see the disturbance on the surface. I don't know what he is yet. He's a long way away.
Yes, a long way.
But he's so big he's creating a wake behind him. Oh, I am
It's
exhausted.
a long way.
Oh, shit.
Ooh!
This better not be a shark. We've probably got him within 50 metres of the boat now. I'm hoping he's not a shark. Otherwise all this work for nothing. It's possible that he's a bloody good sized tuna, but it's difficult to tell till we get him closer. And you can see him popping up on the surface now. He's trying to go down, but he's tired. So every time he tries to go down, I'm bringing him back up. And I am absolutely smashed. I'm so exhausted. This is a
big.
serious fighting fish. It's been one hell of a run to get him to here. My bet is, yeah, I reckon a yellowfin tuna, and this guy is huge. You can see the two fins there breaking the surface. One's yellow, and that little vertical fin behind it.
Ooh!
I'm pretty confident this guy's a yellowfin tuna, and he's a monster. So yeah, that's a yellowfin tuna. So we're going to bring him up beside the boat, try and get some footage, and then maybe drag him for a little while. If he gets tired enough, I might try and get him on the boat. But he's a big fish. He's a big yellowfin tuna. I'd be surprised if he's not 60, 70, 80 kilos. This guy, no wonder he gave me a fight for an hour. This is a seriously big fish.
Wow! Ooh!
Do I look exhausted? I'm absolutely smashed. We've got the guy up now. He's about 10 metres behind the boat. I'm very confident that he's a yellowfin tuna. Well in the 60 kilo range plus. Hard to know till we get him on board, but he's a big fish. No wonder he went deep. He took hundreds of metres of line out. So you can see that yellow fin sticking up. That's a yellowfin tuna. No doubt about it. Oh my God.
Oh!
He's just a monster. He's not even fighting me now. All this weight, all this pressure that I'm feeling is just his body weight and his drag in the water. Okay. I want to try and lift him up.
Oh, shit.
This honestly weighs a ridiculous weight. A ridiculous amount. Oh. All right. So we've got him on the back step. He's utterly huge.
Same my size.
He's I don't know, I reckon he's 60 to 80 kilos that I managed to drag onto the back step. I don't know if I can get him onto the boat or not. I might have to take some fillet off him there. But he's dead as a dodo. He died in the fight coming up. Oh, that's a seriously big fish. Sunset update. So we landed that fish I never thought we would. That was a seriously big yellowfin tuna. And took me well over an hour to get it on board, or best I could do was get it onto the swim platform. Must have been 60 to 80 kilos, I reckon, possibly more, hard to say. You know, I could hardly lift the thing. I reckon I could lift 80 kilos. So it must have been in that 60 to 80 kilo range. Anyway, I just spent an hour filleting it off the back of the boat because it was so big I had to work my way around it. We managed to get it. Tan's now chopping up what she can down below out of what I managed to fillet. So she's making tuna steaks. Look at the size of these things. These are too thick now, more thin. Oh, this is okay, we can cut in half when we eat.
It's okay.
Right. So this is just half the fish. The other half is already in the freezer. Pretty amazing, right? And we've still got, this is still that half that she's working on. My lord. Alright, well we'll have to give a lot of this away. We'll freeze as much as we can. But who wants to waste yellowfin tuna? God knows, this is 60 bucks a kilo in the supermarket. So, yeah. Good job, my love.
Yay!
Teamwork. Teamwork. I think I've answered the question. I was curious to see what's out here in 4,700 metres of water. Seeing as there was some flying fish getting around, I thought, give it a shot, just see what's there. I thought maybe a little Spanish mac or maybe a little tuna or something. When you're landing fish like that, I don't think I'm going to put a line out again for quite some time. Anyway, we'll give away a fair bit of that when we get to our next anchorage. There's plenty of people who could eat it. We won't waste it. I'm not going to put that line in again for quite some time. Definitely answered my own question. What a day. And now we're moving into sunset. Sun's going to kiss the horizon in the next 20 minutes. We move into night mode.